Hello, hello everyone, and good afternoon. And we are here in our podcast, Casa Mexico podcast, Voices of Mexico. Today is September 10th, 2024. And I'm very, very glad of having this opportunity to have a conversation today with Shannon Ambrose. She's the Vice President of Events Government Relations as well with the YYC Music Awards. And welcome, Shannon. How are you?
I am great, Miguel. Thank you so much for this opportunity. We really appreciate it.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And today we are having a conversation of this important awards that are going to be happening very, very soon. In
Mhm.
September 29 is going to be the day of the awards. And today we are going to learn more about the awards. And we want to invite everybody as well to come to the presentation that is going to be here in Calgary. But Shannon is going to tell us a little bit more about. But just to start, Shannon, I'd like if you can share with us a little bit about the how these YYC Music Awards started. So just we can start the conversation with that. So
Well, it was actually back in 2015. A group of us friends here in Calgary were sitting around one day and kind of wondering, why doesn't Calgary have a music awards? And it just kind of took off from there. We all kind of agreed, and then yes, it should. At the time, Edmonton had a very successful event, and which unfortunately they do not anymore, which we're really sad about. But uh, a few days later, one of the founders, Leanne Harrison, who has since retired and moved back to BC, said she was serious. And what do we do? So we decided to we a couple of us were familiar with the Juno Award platform and the Western Canadian Music Award platform. So we modeled our platform after that one because that is what we were familiar with, and we just kind of took the first steps trying to figure out what we needed to do. We felt 2016 would be the perfect inaugural year with our mayor at the time announcing it the year in music. The Juno Awards were here that year. The National Music Center opened that year. And we were very pleased to have our inaugural event at the National Music Center. And it was all just a perfect fit. And it's just grown year after year. We're now in our ninth annual, and it's just gets very exciting every single year with the growth and with all the different musicians that apply. And I'm just very very excited to be a part of this.
that's great. That's great. That sounds excited. And most of the founders yourself, are you a musician? Is that correct?
I am not. I have absolutely no musical talent at all. I do write. I am a writer, but I grew up with music. My father was very musical. He could not play either, but music was a very important part of his life, and I just kind of grew up with it, always in my home. So it's just always kind of been an important part of my life, and I live vicariously through the amazing, talented people who create the music, and I enjoy what they create.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And tell me about the categories. How many categories is there was in which kind of music? What kind of talent are you looking for when you are in the selection process?
Well, we have grown, as I said, year after year. Our very first year, 9 years ago, if memory serves me right, I believe we had 21 categories. Now we are up to 28 categories. The genres run the gamut. I mean, it's everywhere from alternative to blues to hip hop to world cultural to inspirational, folk, jazz, everything else in between. And then we also have other categories like industry categories for um, um, venue or presenter of the year, recording studio of the year, industry person of the year, and then other categories like songwriter of the year, music video of the year, solo artist, group, all of those. So we're now up to 28 categories, and who knows, we could be adding more next year. It
Hmm.
just seems to keep growing.
So it's not just about the musicians. is about all the industry, right? All the different players in the industry.
Right. The industry, Calgary industry as a whole, because it is not just the musicians, it's all of the people in the background that also help the musicians create their magic. So they're just as important and play just as important role in Calgary music scene. So we want to shine a spotlight on everybody.
That's great. That's great. So, and how how has been the process of the change before the pandemic and after the pandemic? Did you stop in the pandemic, or did you continue to do the awards during the pandemic?
We actually continued. We're very proud of the fact we 2020 and 2021 we moved digitally online. So we were still, because we felt it was important, because Calgary artists were still creating music then, even during the pandemic. They may not have been able to perform in front of audiences, but they were performing digitally and at other ways. So we felt that it was very important that we recognize what they produced and what they created in those 2 years, because the music never stopped. So we were very fortunate and very proud that for those 2 years we did not stop. We still presented an award show. It was just digitally, and then in 2022 we were very excited to be back live at Live Gala at a brand new venue at the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino. And it's just the new venue provided a whole new vibe. And we kind of feel like we're very much stepped up into that, for lack of a better word, the grown-up kind of award show where um, we're presenting, we have a red carpet, we have a VIP reception for presenters and sponsors and such and nominees. And it's just grown into a very lovely gala that folks can dress in their finery and have their red carpet moment.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How has been I know that it's a challenge to put together this kind of events, and but how the community or the business community has been supportive of the event, and well, not just the business, but the different founders. How has been the evolution of this? And how much support do you have from the business and government and community in general?
Oh, very much so. We wouldn't exist without our wonderful, very generous sponsors. I want to give a shout out to Craig Seneca Initiatives, who is presenting the gala at Casa Mexico, and Sarah, who will be presenting the VIP reception. We have dozens of wonderful, very generous sponsors that would probably take me 20 minutes to list them all, but we cannot thank them enough because we couldn't exist without them.
That's great. That's great. And now, tell me a little bit about the selection process. How it is a call for artists, how everything works, and how it's evolving until you have the finalist candidates.
Great, certainly. So as I mentioned, we follow other awards platforms, so it is self-submission. So the artists submit their own music. We do have a submission period. Typically, it runs from March 1st of that award year to May 31st of that award year. So, for instance, this year it was March 1st to May 31st of 2024. We do have some eligibility stipulations. So, of course, the artist has to live within 125 kilometers of Calgary. So it's Calgary area. It's catching, Banff and Canmore and other areas just outside of the city. The music that they submit must be released within a certain calendar year again. And typically, I'll use 2024 as an example. Their music would have been released anytime between March 1st, 2023 to February 29th, 2024. So it's basically that year prior. So there are a few, eligibility requirements there. So once we collect all the submissions, and we are up to 500-600 each time, the submissions then go to our adjudication panel. And our adjudication panel consists of industry professionals and award winners all across Canada, not just in Calgary. And then we begin round one voting. So the judges go through every single submission, and they choose their top 5 to pick our top 5 nominees in each category. And then after we have the nominees, then it comes down to round 2 voting, and the top 5 go back to each judge again, and they choose to determine the winner. The board of directors is 100% hands off. The decision of the judges is final. We have no influences over the judges at all whatsoever. And that's basically the process with submission and with judging.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so now I want to be more specific about Casa Mexico is a sponsor in the category of the World Cultural Awards, and I know there are some nominations coming from Mexican artists, Latin American artists, and another part of the world as well. Can you tell us about this category in particular, probably when it was started and why it was started, and probably you can tell us more about the finalists that are in this category.
The finalists. Well, the World Cultural Recording, actually, initially it was World Recording of the Year was the original category. We then expanded it to cultural to include whether it be music influenced by a person's Indigenous background or whatever their background is. Does not necessarily have to be from another part of the world. It could be from their own background, whatever their heritage is. So we expanded it to World Cultural Recording. We have always been very, very proud of it. It has been on the list since our inaugural year. Looking at the nominees for this year, there, of course, are a lot of familiar names for us, past winners and past nominees. Esteban Herrera and Gisela Romero, for a couple of them. Notas did 4, if I am saying that right. Miguel, please excuse me.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
They have also won in the past, and I know they've won a Western Canadian Music Award as well. So Luis Tovar as well. It's always exciting every year to see who submits, and we as those on the board, at least for me personally anyway, this has been a huge bonus for me, because I get introduced to so much new music by artists here in Calgary that some of them I may not have even known were here. Through the World Cultural category, I have gotten to see how huge the Latin American or Latin Canadian influence is here in Calgary. I had no idea the community was so large. Probably, I don't know, 9 years ago, before this started, I had no clue. So it's been an education for me too, which has been really exciting.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we are very proud because in Casa Mexico we work a lot with talent, with artists, and we discover every day. We are discovering new talent in different areas. Obviously, the artistic community is amazing, and we are familiar with the work of Esteban, Gisela, with Notas de Cuatro as well, with Luis Tovar, El Pan as well. They are very famous in the community, of course, and we are going to cheer for them and for all the different artists that are performing and are participating. And tell us about what is going to happen on September 29, and maybe you can make an open invitation to the public to go to the event, buy tickets, and tell us more about what is going to happen at that night and how people can assist.
And I'm sorry, I didn't want to leave out the other two nominees. So Calgaréal, if I'm saying that right, they are not familiar to me, and so they were one of the exciting little finds that I was able to see in the submissions. And Sean Beaver, our other nominee in the World Cultural category, speaking of the gala on the 29th, he will be performing at the after party.
Oh wow!
So
Is he an indigenous artist from?
yes, he is an
Oh,
indigenous artist, and so
amazing!
we're excited about that. So yeah, so speaking of the 29th, what is going to happen? Well, there's going to be live performances by nominees, by 5 different nominees. I'll list them for you real quick, if that's all right. We
Okay.
have Liz Christensen, who is nominated in the pop category as well as Songwriter of the Year. We have a couple of and then Shane Ghostekeeper, who is nominated in the country category and Indigenous Artist of the Year. Cuvaro and the Only Hopes are nominated in the rock recording category and Songwriter of the Year. I mentioned Sean Beaver, who will be performing at the after party. And then we have 2 very exciting collaborations. So we have a blues collaboration, which will consist of all 3 blues nominees, which are Mark Dillon, Aaron Ross, and John Rutherford. And they will be performing a song together, backed by John's band. And then we're very excited to present a rap hip hop collaboration with all 5 of our rap
Oh wow!
nominees. So that'll be great. So all 5 of them, Be Ravenous, T Fanny, K the Chosen, Tiny Wings, will be performing with K Riz and his band, The Family. So we're very, very excited about that. So those are our live performances. And then there will be special guests and presenters there, as any award show will have special guests on stage to present awards. And we will also be presenting all 5 of our Music Video of the Year nominees. So prior to that award being announced at the end of the evening, the audience will be able to see all 5 videos that are nominated as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's going to be a red carpet as well, and people
Yes.
can take pictures. I remember.
Correct. Yeah. Anybody, whether you're an artist or a fan, come on the 29th and you can have your red carpet moment, stroll the red carpet and get your picture taken. And that's always fun.
That's awesome. And this event is open to the public, right? Everybody can buy tickets and they can attend, right?
Yes. Tickets are available at our website, yycmusicawards.com. They are $40.95 a piece, with, of course, applicable taxes and fees on top of that. And yeah, it is open to the public. It is a Sunday night, but we won't keep you late. The doors open at 5:30. Show starts at 6:30. And yes, award shows sometimes do tend to go a little long, but we should have you out of there before 10.
That's awesome. We look forward to for this excitement event and celebration. And we want to congratulate you and Stephanie and all the team in YYC Music Award for this wonderful initiative. And hopefully the categories are going to grow in the future. But first, we look forward to for this year, and we're very proud of all the nominations. We are very proud of all the Latin American community that is participating, of course. And we are very proud of support this kind of, because this is part of the mission of Casa Mexico as well, just to promote the best of Mexico, the best of Latin America, and we want to continue with that. Thank you for organizing, and thank you, Shannon. Something else that you want to add before we go?
Just to invite everybody to come on the 29th, help us celebrate Calgary musicians, Calgary music industry. It is also a great night for networking with other professionals. And put on your finery and come and get your red carpet moment.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. Well, see you on the 29th and have a great evening. And thank you everyone for watching, and look forward to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miguel.
Bye.